I'm very excited about this card today, but I do have to apologize a little bit. I said in an earlier video that although I enjoy watching YouTube videos of some of the most famous cards and those most expensive cards, or the great conditioned cards that you see, that I was simply going to focus on cards that I enjoy from my set, a little off the beaten path. Well, this is one of the foundations of the hobby, but I do want to talk about it anyway. A lot of you are going to know the background information, but others may have seen this card over and over again and really not have a clear idea of the context from where it came. So this is the 1980-81 Topps 34, 174, 139 Larry Bird, Julius Erving, Magic Johnson card. The Larry Bird panel is a rookie, so is the Magic Johnson, 2 rookie cards in one. And then you have Dr. J in the middle. This is from a subset that we know as team leaders. This 1980-81 Topps basketball set is odd in many ways. The complete cards are a standard 2.5 by 3.5 inches. But each card was perforated to contain 3 smaller cards within it. The idea, obvious from the perforations, was to detach and collect the set of smaller cards. Modern day collectors are shuddering at the thought of doing that. Some of the mini cards even have checklists on the back, and those checklists do list just the individual panels. I'm pretty sure that this is the first time in history that multiplayer cards were produced with the intent of separating those individual players. There are 264 of these mini panels. They were printed on 2 different large uncut sheets. You can still find these for sale today. So imagine this. Each of those sheets contained half of the set of these mini panels. And then that half set was printed twice. So that's what made up that big single sheet. It was a half set of mini panels printed twice. But here's the kicker. The order was changed for that second printing. So that explains why each of the individual mini panels appears in 2 different combinations when you're talking about the complete set of these Topps cards. In other words, in the end, those 2 large sheets gave you 176 different, I guess you would call them 3-card cards. And that's the set that we collect today. For example, this number 34 Larry Bird panel, it can also be found in combination with Bill Cartwright and John Drew. Now, on these larger cards, the numbering skips around quite a bit. So creating an orderly checklist of this set can seem impossible. But when you number these mini panels numerically, they create subsets and individual team sets. For example, All-Stars are found on mini panels 1 through 18. These team leader cards, they appear within their respective team set. And then you have another subset, slam dunk cards. They're found at the end. I prefer to order the complete set, low to high, based on the number of this left panel within the main card. I think that's the clearest way to prevent skipping a card if you're trying to collect all of the combinations. but there is a numbering found in traditional price guides, and if you see an online database based on those older guides. In that case, this will be referred to as card number 6. It's a chaotic set for sure, but I think it's fun to collect. I really do. Obviously, the grade of the card certainly depends on all 3 mini panels remaining intact. You can collect the separate panels, and it's enjoyable to finally see the panels in numerical order, but individually they have limited value. There's other rookie highlights in the set: Bill Cartwright, Sidney Moncrief, Maurice Cheeks. This is the true highlight of the set, though. This is only a PSA 3. Those poor perforations are barely hanging on this one. I really like this card, though. When I look at it, whoever got this slabbed, I'm grateful that it was put in this slab before the card separated. We're living on the edge with those perforations there. This card also, the set as a whole, has a lot of print marks. And see this black line here down in the corner? That's a famous print mark on this card. You'll see that often. It doesn't detract from the grade and the value too much, honestly, because it's really present on a lot of these cards. The cards weren't very hard to come by back when they were released. At the time, Topps was still focusing their marketing on youth. So 25 cents a pack, you could really stock up on these. There were 8 cards in a pack, as well as a team poster. 17 different ones of these. Knowing the current value of these cards in high grades especially, we all wish we would have stocked up at 25 cents a pack. Well, back to this individual card. Let me show the reverse. Here you can see the numbering: 34, 174, 139. I'm going to put a link in the description to an article of one of these cards selling for over $74,000. That one does have this black mark. That's kind of proof that you can get high grades, very high values, even with that mark there. I'm going to put another link to an article where one sold for over 6 figures, over $100,000. That one didn't have that line. The problem is, YouTube, until they verify my channel, or I guess until it's established, they're not showing the whole links in the description. I hope there's enough there. Maybe you can Google it on your own, because it's really neat information to see some of those auctions. I guess if eventually I get enough subscribers, YouTube will verify the channel and those links will be there. But I'm going to try to put them there anyway. What else about this card? Oh, another interesting thing. So this is a team leader for Julius Erving. Those are his points per game, 26.9. They never explicitly say that on the card, but I mean, it's kind of obvious based on what the card is. And if you look at the back here, what's neat, at the time of printing, Julius Erving was number 10 for the 76ers scoring leaders. Obviously, he moved up quite a bit over time. So, you know, that's kind of a snapshot in history there. Oh, there's also one other thing I wanted to mention. There was a, quote, counterfeit card going around. I don't know if it was so much of a counterfeit as it was just a joke. Maybe someone out there knows the story behind it. But there's a version of this card where in place of Julius Erving, it says, "Stupid Upshaw." And I mean, people did buy that card thinking it was an original and then kind of noticed, hey, what is this on the back? So just, you know, I guess make sure that if you're not buying a graded one, that you don't accidentally get one of the stupid Upshaw versions. Yeah, that's about it for this one. I hope you learned something about the set, and it was just fun for me to take this one out, talk about it a little bit. All right, that's 10 minutes. That's enough. I'll go. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.